This is hard to do, okay? You talk about confidence. Your teammates will bitch at you even though you're helping them.
I'm doing good. Fine.
Welcome back, by the way. I remember you from the boot camp. How's things?
It's better. I climbed a little bit, almost to, or I think I got to gold 2, but then I dropped a little bit. Back to gold 3, and
Cool. I'm gonna grab a couple losses, okay? And we're gonna just. What was your strategy here?
So can't actually remember fully, but I think I wanted to play a lot for mid because it's a really volatile lane. I might go for 1 gank top and then just hopefully get mid ahead. But I think I noticed that Silas was kind of trolling, and I think we ended up reporting him. I got really mad at him.
Let's look. So from the get-go, you guys get this, counter this invade. Okay, so let's talk about this. So this is something that I'm learning this lesson on as well recently. And basically, I was just like thinking about it because I had a game where I just went like mass negative last night. And it was basically off just level 1 goofiness. So let's talk about level 1 goofiness real quick this season. Okay, level 1 goofiness actually wasn't that punishing, you know, last season. The reason why is because there was so much sustain in the jungle that didn't really matter. Like, you could do some dumbass shit, go to your camps, and be full health anyways. Okay, you still with me?
Yeah.
So that right away, so like, watch what I mean. This is something that I'm dialing into. So like right here, this is whatever, right? You're defending your camps, and you defend your camps. This is where you lose me right here. Because what's gonna happen is when you chase in, you're gonna fuck your early game up by doing this. Your early game is gonna be a lot more volatile now. It's gonna be a lot tougher to manage. There's a lot of ways that we can navigate out of this situation, and I'm gonna give you some examples of ways that I literally was just on the treadmill this morning. I've been just thinking about it. So it's kind of funny that this popped up right away because this has been something that's been problematic for me too. Is like, okay, we need to play aggressive, but like how aggressive and like what are we losing?
Yeah.
So this,
I often question that too.
Yeah, so this like defending your camps is great. You really got to pull off of this though. Like after this kill, pull off of it and get your leash stable. Right? You want to be aggressive, but you want to stabilize the early game. Right? It's like right now it's a bit of a Mario Party early game because there's no sustain anymore. If you get chunked, you're gonna see what happens here. Now you're chunked. Now look at this fucking clear, okay?
So usually I go for a 3 camp, but here I think I try to opt in for like more like a 5 camp.
I'm gonna blow your mind here. Just fucking recall right here.
Okay.
Just recall. Because what are you gonna do? You see what I mean? Like, how are you gonna really get anything done with confidence?
Yeah, no.
Just recall.
There. And
this is why I've said I literally was spinning. I was literally just on the treadmill this morning, just like, how the fuck? How do you navigate this shit? So it starts with this goofy chase here. It impacts your leash, and then it fucks your clip. But that's okay. If you just recall, you're fine. Everybody's going through the same problems that you are now, right? Yes, Udyr will get ahead of you in a way, but you will emerge. You'll emerge a level behind or so, but you'll come out with like a double longsword, right? Or like a sheen, whatever we want to go, right? What runes did we go? We going free boots?
So
no,
I go usually resolve and conquer.
Yeah, so you get like boots and like a longsword or something, right? And now you can skirmish. The issue is if you clear from here, he's always gonna best you now, in my opinion, because he's always gonna be faster than you. He's gonna have more health than you.
Yep.
Right. So at a certain point, it just becomes better to just say fuck it, reset, take your red. Now you're full health. Yeah, he might be a level ahead of you, but he's not gonna, it's not gonna be such an easy fight for him anymore. Now every skirmish that you take is gonna suck ass.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens. At least that's how I read this.
Yeah, no, it does. I fight for...
Right. And so this is inevitable. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
This is bound to happen. The other alternative to just backing, like if you want to get on map, the other alternative is to just say fuck Scuttle and full clear, then reset. Now that we've looked it over, right? Since we kind of like auto lose to him, right, at this stage. I guess what I'm trying to tell you is that, like, no matter how you slice it, when the early game is this goofy, we have to make some wider adjustments now that we didn't have to make before. Last season, you would have shown up on Scuttle and you'd be full health. You'd probably still lose this, though. It doesn't even really change.
Yeah, I don't know why I went for it, because I usually lose it anyway. You're right.
Right, so it's just you feel stronger because you have a kill or something, right? Or like, or maybe just a, what's the word that I'm looking for? It's like your situational awareness is going to be lower because you opened in such a strange way. The leash is fucked, the start is fucked, you have a kill, like your brain just starts like, you have to, a good term that I want you to remember when you're jungling is shuffling the deck. So by that I mean, you would just, in this spot, you've got your lead. The thing is, though, it's messy. So let's shuffle the deck, i.e. either recall early or just full clear and recall. Just kind of reset the situation. So we can get a better look at the cards, so to speak.
It's like one of those when you take Baron and you get overzealous and then you die with the Baron buff. Because you think you can win.
Right. Just kind of like recognize that, yes, you're ahead, but like the game state is lopsided. It's weird. So just shuffle the deck and change, like emphasize stabilizing. And you would have probably, now that I look at this, not recalling is not even that. Recalling is good, in my opinion, is decent. Because you could recall and then just take this for level 4. You could like start at golems, go down, gank mid, and then your camps would be up again. You'd be level 4 with boots and, right? That's one option.
Yeah.
Right. Or you could just full clear completely and then recall. I personally like recalling because then when you come down, yes, you're a little delayed to Udyr, but you don't just automatically get shit on in a 2v2 now. You still have the boot. You have the longsword. Your gank is scary. You're full health now on your gank. Before you wouldn't have been. You would have just had to... The thing is full clearing from this position basically takes you off the map for a long time. Right?
Yeah. So in situations like this, I feel like it's an excuse though, but I feel like, okay, top side, I can't really gank that lane a lot. Because I don't feel like that it's like a good lane to gank. And then there's bot lane. Like if I get taken with the binding, it's like the play is over and then I have no setup. And then there's mid lane, and I wanted to play for mid lane, but my mid laner kind of trolled. So
that has nothing to do with it though, because you and I both know that this open was garbage. Like we know it's garbage. If our open's more stable, like think of it like this: we recall, we go top down, we gank mid. Or we just gank mid and then path to bottom, clear, and then we could counter gank. Like there's so many options that we didn't get to explore. We took our kill and we basically ran it at Scuttle a level down and like half HP, right? Like it's just not a good, like if I'm gonna lose, this is not how I want to lose, right? Like I want to lose, like I said, by shuffling the deck. I want to find a play that is like really, really solid, reasonable, and lose in that way. And I think the key adjustment you'll have to make in this preseason is you have to identify the sustained difference. When you take damage early, it changes your game. You have to play a very different way now. Everybody's playing the same way, and I feel like you fell into it here, and you're not the only one. I've done it. I mean, I've made goofy mistakes a shit ton already testing stuff out. For one, the classic example is like trying to smite shit when I'm low. Like I've been doing that like at the beginning of the season or preseason to try to heal. Like,
yeah, and you don't get healed.
Right. Just stupid shit. And everybody's kind of adjusting. But what I'm here to tell you is that eventually people are going to move past this. People are going to start recognizing like, oh, I took a lot of damage. I'm going to have to do something different to fix this. So in the way that a laner, think of it like this. When you're in mid, say you're Silas, right? And I get chunked down to like 20% HP as mid Silas, right? A laner knows that he can be dove. Junglers have been babied last season, right? Junglers got used to just, fuck it. Whatever my health is irrelevant, right? I could be 10% HP. I'm still going to be able to clear, like lick my ass. I'll clear anyways, right? But that's not how laning works, right? Like laning, you take a bad trade, you're fucked. So you need to recognize like, yeah, I got the kill, but it's a bad trade. In the same way that a laner would have to recognize, oh, I got the kill, but the wave state is fucked up. I have to recall to save this right now. Or I'm going to get dove. I need to sit way back and just like recall TP forward.
That makes sense.
Right? Is like, does that analogy kind of scan? Because like,
yeah, it does.
This is basically the difference between now and then. Right? That's what's going to make or break. So I think that's enough of that. And we'll look at another one and see if you're still doing it on some of the other VODs. To see if we've got... Oh, and trust me, I'm limit testing the fuck out of this preseason, which is why I can articulate this well. You picked a good time to get coached by me in jungle. So I've just been like... just been mulling up, just trying all sorts of goofy shit constantly.
Oh, by the way, I have a question about, is there anything up with the, like, the new MMR? Is there some kind of new MMR system? Because I feel like I've seen a lot of, like, unranked players suddenly joining my games.
I actually don't know. I have bitched about it, but see, the thing is I don't know how much of the bitching that I'm making is valid, and the bitching I'm making is just gamer bitching. Right? Like gamer bitching in the sense of these games suck today, fucking hate this matchmaking, blah, 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 right? That's gamer bitching. And I don't really know what valid bitching is. I do know that they changed, supposedly they laxed the Smurf Q shit, or they just did away with it altogether. I will tell you that I've talked about this on stream, where I feel like they should do like a hard reset across the board and make it so that the accounts that have been inactive for years like have to play norms again or something to play ranked. Because,
yeah, I watched that one.
Yeah, it's real fucked. Like so for example, in my games, to kind of reiterate what you're saying, I'll have people that have an MMR in Diamond or whatever in Korea, right? They have an MMR from years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. They hop onto the account. They played 10 games. Now they're around my MMR, right? Or they're just already in my MMR. Well, I've played hundreds of games, right? But I've never had a high MMR account. So basically, I have to grind through the MMR and the random people that are just jumping in that don't care, right? Like they don't... Guy doesn't give a shit. He fucks around for 10 games, goes on a loss streak. He never used that account again.
Yeah.
Like they can do that 10 times. I mean, I have a bunch of accounts too. That's why I say it should just be done away with. This open, the tip from Shaco or from Chase Shaco, this is really good move. You should always be thinking aggressively. If you can, always try to ping to invade this guy. Level 1. It's really annoying for him. I know Vi kind of sucks early, so I get it if you don't want to do it, but it's something to try to explore, especially in preseason. If you see Shaco, stand in this bush or opposite this bush, type 125 in chat and ping on the way, and try to make your teammates go in at 125, and you'll just win games usually off that. What'll happen is, so what'll happen is you'll walk in and he'll be doing this. And you just, his box is like, normally they place a box here, by the way, usually. His box will normally expire. So you could just walk in, he'll be on this, you smite the big one, from him and just hit him and he loses. Because he has no flash. They never flash. They have no flash.
True.
Right. It's a cheeky play. But it's a good way to flip the aggression on him, because here's the problem with Shaco that I find is that if you don't do this, he ganks your team with impunity. Like there's no stopping it. I hate that about him.
Yeah.
I don't like being behind.
I tend to pick Nocturne. I tend to like to pick Nocturne instead. Versus
Shaco?
him. Yeah.
I mean,
if
this invade would definitely work if you did it with Nocturne. That would definitely work. But I do it with anybody. I'll just walk. I'd rather, you remember last game how it was like a goofy start?
Yeah.
Like, I would rather have a goofy start game than let him do his thing in the beginning. I just hate this champion. I would rather fuck with him than have him fuck with my laners. Because you also have to realize, like, what's at stake. If I do this, even if I'm slightly behind and he's slightly behind, he is so much more behind than me. Because his champion really wants to cheese. Make sense?
Makes sense. Yeah, makes sense.
Because watch what he's gonna do. He's gonna 3-camp and he's gonna run right to your bot lane and he's gonna kill them. It always happens. Ready? I've never seen this VOD in my life, just so you know. But they're always gonna kill your bot lane. See? and you know I haven't seen this VOD.
I know. I booked like not long ago. So.
Right. You know I just popped this open and said that. And that's exactly what happens. And that was happening in the previous patch. It happens even more now. And this is why versus Shaco, I would rather die at his chickens than let him do that. I'd rather fight here. Make sense? That's the freest advice I could give for this guy. Because there's nothing you can do about it. Right? Like, he gets to do that. He fucks your bot lane. Nice kill in mid. He fucks your bot lane, and now you're kind of picking up the pieces versus him. But you did get, like at least you got a kill. Turn down the sound a bit. It's a little loud. I want to be able to hear you better. Let's talk about this.
Yeah, I missed my cue there.
Yeah, we'll talk about layering it here. This is a slow play anyways. You should be slow playing the Q. Slow play and get his flash. When you rush it like this is what I always tell Vi players. Slow play the shit out of your Qs. If he doesn't have like some gap, like crazy gap close to get away, which he doesn't, right? Instead of rushing it, you have to realize, just walk like this to start, this way, and then hold it. Hold the Q. Get him to flash. Your value, in my opinion, I'll show you something. Let me give you like a... So like, this little bar represents like how long you can hold the Q for. You basically queued here.
Yeah, because I didn't want to be in vision, but it's a long distance, right?
Right. Well, part of it is there's a mind game here. I would rather play the mind game out if he can't get away. I'd rather go all the way to the end because this will get him to gap close. This could get him to flash. Like, there's a lot of things he can do. But if you hold it, or I'm sorry, if you rush it, he doesn't do anything except outplay you. If you hold it, it's max value. I want to get max value out of the gank. I would rather him flash here and then Q.
Yeah, because it stresses him out, right?
Right. Make him think about why the fuck is she holding it so long, right? That's what you want. Like, when you rush, when you open these really quick, I feel like it's a wasted opportunity, especially because based on the open, like, obviously we didn't do the goofy invade shit, but like on the open, like, you're ahead of the Shaco now. You're level 4. He can't possibly be level 4. You have all day to play with this gank. I mean, he can't even counter gank it because even if he counter ganks, he's never have ignite. Like, it's just garbage from him, right? The only thing he can really do is show up here with some long swords. He does have some. which does hurt if he does get here, but it's going to take him a while. He's never going to be level 4.
I didn't think about that, but yeah, that makes sense.
Right? So it's just something to really like with these. Now, if it's somebody like fucking, I don't know, somebody who can really gap close, like get really far away from you somehow or whatever, I could understand wanting to play it quick. But with this guy, not knowing whether or not he has flash, I would rather slow it down, because when you miss the Q, I tell Vi players this, when you miss the Q, that's the worst thing. Right? At least if you held the Q, there's a chance you get his flash and then you could shoot at him. Right? Because again, it's the pressure, like you said. It's like the Blitzcrank hold.
Yeah. But I feel like if I'm holding it too long, I'm starting to get the pressure and they start to wiggle and then it gets to my head.
Oh, really? No, but you love that spot though. That lets you get closer and closer and closer.
Yeah.
There should be no pressure for you. Because you're just trying to, all you care about at that point is like getting closer to him and landing autos after if you miss. Yeah. But you're just trying to, the thing is you want to squeeze the most out of the orange. Right? We don't do that if we rush the queue. Just a thought. Yeah. At least with the way that the guy was positioned.
I think one of the issues with Vi for me is like, I love the champion. It's one of my favorite champions, but if I'm not having a confident day, it really shows in my games. And then I just play Nocturne for the rest of the day. Because it's, point and click.
I mean, I'm kind of right there with you recently in playing a lot of like aggressive stuff, right? It's a hell of a lot easier to just auto path on Nocturne, right? And press R on people. Yeah. But you have to realize that like a lot of this stuff, if you can master a champion like Vi, it has a lot more carry potential, especially in this elo, than like a Nocturne. Right? But yes, Nocturne is obviously...
I think I failed my Q in the wall there too.
Well, you know, the bigger issue here is the pathing. Like, if I'm them, when they're skipping over the wave like this, you're fine. This is another teammate, you understand? So like, if they walk back through here, they're going to take so much damage. At this point, it's normally best to just contain them and see where they go. And the other thing is you're rushing it, but at this stage, it becomes more important that you don't save the guy that you secure kills.
Okay.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry. You're in a power position. Again, I think you're forgetting the position that you're in. Like Shaco is level 3 here. So as long as you secure something, you're ahead. But you're trying to save it and salvage it instead of just like use the fog of war. They don't know you're here. Once you pop out over this wall, it's kind of like they can play it perfectly. And again, they weren't necessarily gonna go back through the lane with all those minions. They were probably gonna go down.
Yeah.
Let's look a little bit more of this actually, because you're not doomed yet. Like you missed an opportunity, but you're not dead. You have a lot of gold now though. That was kind of a weird choice by you. Let me see that again.
Yeah, so I don't know why I did both. I was kind of brain farting. Usually when in that spot, I'm scared that I'm going to get unlucky and he's going to see me, so I'm just going to safe it. But I kind of did the ward and the jump at the same time.
Right. I want you to look at it though. I want you to see like how much he actually sees in the spot, okay? So that's his vision. Ready? Watch his vision. Just wait until he goes away from the...
Yep.
And then there you go. You could just walk it in and you wouldn't have to waste your Q. This gank is psychotic by you, by the way. I'm just saying. This is beyond thin. This is not a good gank. This is so unlikely. I mean, I guess in a world where like I just don't see it. He's gonna kick one of you away from from the other. Like, it's just, there's no way. Right? Like, if I get ganked here, I just kick the person this way and fight it out. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't have red either, so.
Yeah, it's real thin. So yeah, I would be more interested at this point. Instead of going anywhere near this asshole, I'd be more interested. I mean, you could think about it, I guess, but I would rather just clear down. I just don't see a world where we're ever going to get any value out of going up here. And even if you... Yeah, there's just no way. See what I mean? Even with you connecting, like, it's... This, just so you know, this champion here is kind of in like the Mordekaiser bracket for me right now. Of like, once he's 6, I'm not going to bother unless he was already really low.
Okay.
And in this case, he's very not low. And like I said, you hit, I mean, you straight up hit the Q, and Aurelia even hits the stun. Right? Look at that. You hit everything. You guys hit everything you could have hit. So unless they were heavy trading, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, again, new season, new champ, like lots of new shit to be kind of plugged into.
I need to read up on K'Sante because I don't know a lot about him. I just know he's a melee champion.
Just simplify it. He's super weak side. Like, he can play weak side all day.
Okay.
He's very fucking hard to kill. Very fucking annoying to try to kill. His ult is like, again, it can separate you from your gank. It's just, there's a lot of conditionals that happen when you're fucking with him, and I feel like the ganks are inherently messy. Again, if he's low and they're heavy trading, you can maybe make it work, but it's the same thing with Mordekaiser. I wouldn't go anywhere near him unless I saw he was already low. Okay. Right, because then you're just asking for him to ult you and kill you, or you're asking for him to just survive anyways and kill you both. Right, or whatever.
Yeah, there's been some times. Sorry.
No, you're good.
There's been some times when I played Nocturne against him. It was one game where I ulted into him and then he just flipped me into the whole team, and I looked so stupid.
Yeah, it's a tough guy to beat. But I'm not convinced he carries super hard on his own yet. I think people get in trouble when they try to fight him. Like, instead of just like farming with him and recognizing that he's not easy to play in team fights, and I don't think he carries that hard because his Qs are short. Like Yasuo tornadoes are long, right? His Qs are very short, K'Sante. And so it just feels like in order to get value for him, people just kind of have to walk up. It's Mordekaiser. They have to like walk up to him and fuck with him. You just kind of like play keep away and just farm with him. He usually seems to get outscaled. At least that's been my experience. So we go down to bottom, no ult. Then you get counter ganked. I mean, at the end of the day, I think it boils down to this game. 11 minutes. I haven't seen much of it. I haven't seen anything really happen other than the mid gank. And then we kind of botched the top play. We had our opportunity, and then we kept like trying to fuck around with top side. I think the strategy here was a bit of a miss. I think if you go back in time, instead of fucking around with top, you should have just papped down, wait for Yasuo to do Yasuo things, right, and just play off of Ahri. But yeah, trying to snowball off of this guy is probably pretty thin, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, at least that VOD. Aside from the fact that, like I said, you have this tendency to just fast play Qs for no reason. I think that is always the thing that I get on Vibe players about, is the rush Q. Like, it's so much better to just, if you have them in a bad spot, just hold it and play it really slow.
Oh no, wait, this is the recent game?
Right, same thing with the Shaco. 100% he's gonna 3 camp and kill your bot lane. Oh, he went the other way. He's gonna try to kill your mid lane. Oh,
yeah, looks good.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say he was it's different.
I don't know why I do this, but
Oh yeah, this is you're about that. Remember that talk we had about sustain?
yeah, because normally now I would just smite and I'll be healthy, right?
Right.
Now I would go straight for top and I'll be healthy for it, but then I'm like, wait, my HP.
Every trade just fucking kills your game. Right. Why are we valuing? Oh, I guess Scuttle's fine here because you are almost level 4. Okay. I didn't see your XP.
Yeah. My idea is to like stall, hopefully enough for him to come back, but then I see he doesn't have TP, so I back
You
him.
just need to go push.
Hmm.
Go shove the wave. Get right up in her face. You're level 4 with Ignite or with red buff, and you know he has no sums now. Push. This is hard to do, okay? You talk about confidence. Your teammates will bitch at you even though you're helping them.
Yep, that's why I didn't do it. I did look at the wave there, but I was like, he was typing a lot and being like, I'm gonna carry you guys, and
yeah, but
just let me do my thing. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, I would push this wave. This is not good for his XP.
Okay.
See, look. I want you to see how much he misses backing there. Watch. Let's do an experiment, guys. Just for the purposes of discussion. Let's just imagine the perfect universe where nobody touches the wave. And I'm hoping this Fiora doesn't touch the wave. Ready? Okay, melee gone. Melee gone. Cannon gone. Melee gone. Melee gone. Imagine a world where you just shove the wave in. What would have changed? It's not a trick question, although it can feel that way. Wave management sometimes.
I mean, they would push in and I will be able to gank her. She would be vulnerable. And he would also be able to... Okay, he will be able to CS.
Well, yes, but the thing that I'm after is I'm about me. What about me, my needs, right? So like, look at this. You're going to Scuttle. He cannot get this wave. So I want it. You understand?
Fair.
He can't get it. So
Fair.
right? So like I get the wave, so I get, plus gold, plus XP, right? I fix the wave. And the third thing you said, wow, bad 3. The third thing you said, gank is available now, right? I mean, I can go down the list, but basically, I want this. I want to fix the wave. And yeah, I mean, the gank's an option. She's going to have to ward now. She's going to have to push out now. She's in a compromising position, right? Crash that shit. Go into the lane and crash that shit because you're going to recall after anyways. Crash it.
Okay.
Fuck it. Just push it under. The guy's going to ping you 19 times because he's an idiot, right? And we don't care. We'll just mute his pings. If he goes through the VOD, if he wants to get better at the game, he'll go through the VOD and recognize there's no other play. You have to crash the wave. He can't TP forward. You have to crash it. He stays in base. Look. You have to. Look at all that he loses. You all lose that.
Yeah, I mean, I did look at it and I really was contemplating it, but I was like, yeah, I don't know.
There's a reason I'm zooming in on it though, because it's hard to do this in games.